What up, man? We back in the building with another episode, man. We back.
Man, it's been long,
We
bro.
here.
We was back a few weeks ago, and then we went away for a second. Now we back again. Back in the building, man, with a full breakdown. We got a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on right now. So and a lot that's transpired over the past few weeks. You got new coaches and new places in college football. You got the NFL game going crazy. You got Lamar on a little bit injured right now, man.
Right.
It's just a lot. It's so much to unpack, man. So we got a jam-packed show for you today. We'll recap National Signing Day. We'll talk about what happened with Urban Meyer. I guess what happened last night, late last night. It kind of broke for everybody as they were waking up this morning. So we'll kind of get into all of that stuff and go ahead and give us a like, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment definitely. While we're talking here, man, if you guys got anything to say, please comment and we'll be happy to address it. But what you guys got first, man? What you guys think about? What's on your mind?
Recruiting, bro.
I was about to say you got to start with Travis.
We got to start with your boy, Travis Hunter.
That's history, man.
Yeah. So, I was actually like during that day because we got a chance to talk with what Marcus Woodson. This was probably a few weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. Me and Marcus were actually talking with Marcus Woodson at the Bartram Trail game, and we're trying to see, like, he kind of volunteered the information, like, yo, I'm the one who recruiting Travis, and
Desmond.
I was with Desmond. Sorry, it was one of y'all because we all went to one game. I don't remember. Anyways, Desmond was with me. Now I remember. Desmond was with me, and we were talking about basically how he was volunteering the information about how he recruited Travis Hunter to, when he was at Auburn, I guess he was on Travis. Mm-hmm. And then when he went to Florida State, he kind of had that relationship still. And he was kind of going on that, and he was saying it was airtight. So then I was like, okay, all right.
Like, cool. They prayed before every game.
Prayed before, yeah.
It was crazy, bro. I kind of felt for him too once I read the news. I was like, dang, I know
What's good, Melvin?
What's good, Melvin?
What's good, man? Tap in. But yeah, man. So I was kind of just, I felt kind of rock solid. You know what I'm saying? Hearing that, we're like, all right.
He gonna play both ways. Yeah, he gonna play receiver and corner.
He repping hard Florida State.
Man. He was repping hard, and even when I was there at the Seminole Showcase before the season started, I mean, he looked like he was part of the team already. He was dapping up the players, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, this is like family. And then, bro, like I'm telling you, all the coaches was shocked, bro. Like, this was like a bombshell, like a bomb went off inside of Florida State, man.
Yeah.
Because this was like, the dude had been on campus so much, man. Like, he had spent so much time with them. Like, he eating lunch with the players, like.
It's just about as locked in as you could.
Yeah, it was just he was as locked in as you could be, bro. And it's just one of those things where, like, Dion, bro. and it only happened like according to Travis and according to Dion, it only happened when he went for homecoming. Apparently, it started when he went for homecoming. I don't really know what story I buy here, man, because you're hearing the Barstool stuff, and then
I heard
Dion
about that.
Dion kind of disputed that this morning when he went on I believe it was Get Up. He was on ESPN this morning, and he was talking about, I don't know what they're talking about. This 1.3. Jay Williams asked him, like, "Hey, man, what's going on with this money? What's the money? What's to talk about?" And he's like, this whole Barstool thing where he's getting $1.5 million. It's a total sham. How could I coach somebody who make more money than me? And that was kind of his pitch.
And that's true though. Now, that is where I did believe that part. I was gonna say that's where I was like, that makes sense. And I think, like I said, if you're a corner, if you're a DB, how would you not want to go play for Prime?
That's the best.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as that, especially if you are a Florida State fan or somebody that you look up to Prime, why would you not want to go play for him? That's why I said that, we had this conversation a while back when we were talking about when Mike Norvell was kind of having a hot seat. I was saying, you go get a Deion Sanders, because that's the type of he's one of those people. No matter what position you play, it's hard to turn him down. Like, he's in the mix right now for Shamar Stewart, the 5-star out of
I heard
down
that,
from
man.
South Florida.
I heard that, but he's not even in his Shamar put out his top 3 a few hours ago.
And so he finally put it
he
out.
had
So
Texas A&M, he had Georgia and Miami in his top 3.
So, and then same thing with Kamari Wilson was another one people were speculating whether Kamari Wilson was best fit. So the fact that Deion can get an HBCU in those conversations shows you like if he ever does leave the HBCU and go to a big time school, but if he ever that he's gonna be able to pull elite talent because that's just the type of guy he is. So one, excited for him. Shout out to Deion and Travis Hunter for making history, man. It's gonna be big. Hopefully there's a trend that follows in this generation of young athletes, man, from the NBA, from the young kids coming out of high school going to the G League. Same thing with these players going to HBCUs, man. They're making a difference and really pushing the standard of what used to be when it comes to how sports operate. So
I believe he wanted to make an impact, man. The money was going to come for him regardless of where he went. It was going to come for him regardless. So them saying that, oh, it's going to come here, this dude could have got $1 million anywhere he went. Could have got $1 million at Florida State. Or maybe if not more. So I do. Prime was just like, yo, man, they just don't want to admit that I beat them at recruiting. Like,
and one thing I want to add on to man, he's really betting on himself. Like, everybody's talking about the Deion thing and all that. This is really big for Travis Hunter. Like, going to a HBCU now, that's almost like a death sentence if you want to go to the league. So, he's really betting on himself.
Not anymore. You kind of felt like that before, but not. There's a lot of
talent
coming out now. Yeah.
No, there's definitely a lot of talent, but just so to speak, thinking that's kind of like a death sentence if you're thinking about going to the league. But if there's talent, they're gonna find you, and I think that's really what he was thinking. If you ever been to a HBCU or been to a homecoming, man, it's like being home. Seriously, for our people especially, it's probably a very comfortable situation for him, and I think he's going to do well. He's going to play both ways. He's going to get to play both ways, and like you said, Desmond, it's hard to turn down Deion.
Yeah, right.
Dude, especially when he's like, man, all it was basically just, he said his assistant coaches kind of cracked the door open for him, and then he was like, he was like, hey, he'll talk to you. So hey, got in there, got him on campus. I mean, once Prime talks to you, bro, it ain't too much, bro. It ain't too much that got to be said.
The coaching staff,
his coaching staff is legit. So you're getting
one of the best coaching staffs in all the country.
Yeah. So, what another thing that he said. So they asked Prime this morning about they said, how does this impact, you going to bigger school, the success you're having, I'm sure those schools are going to start calling the D1s. He's like, yeah, I mean, of course, it's the same. He was kind of talking like he was like, he's had those conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that I'm hearing the stuff like, but he was like, but I mean, I'm straight, dog. He was like, I got, basically I got money. Like I'm straight. Like, that's why I'm here. Like he's like, it'll help my assistant coaches more than it'll help me. He was like, that would probably be the only thing. But like, as far as what I'm trying to build here, I'm straight, man. Like, you got Hugh Jackson coming in at Grambling. You got who you got Tyrone Wheatley. I didn't even know was he's at Morgan State.
Eddie George and Tennessee State.
Eddie George. You got, those are 4 NFL caliber. Like those are high level players and coaches, bro.
And there's a big point that was just like you were just talking about. They don't need the money, you know what I'm saying? So they're not chasing that next job. They're not chasing that next, that next level of getting somewhere. They done accomplished it all. So they good to stay in the HBCU, build it back to really what it used to be. So that's a great point. I think, them being coming from that NFL world, not needing the money, not needing the check or to chase anything, they really gonna be able to build a great foundation. And then another thing, even with getting found, so if Travis Hunter goes and becomes a first round pick coming out of HBCU, that's also going to change the dynamic. So it's going to change that you can't go first round because there's a lot of talent that's came out of HBCUs, but like to Melvin's point, a lot of them end up going undrafted. The talent ends up getting found, but a lot of them going drafted have to wait to that second contract to get that payday. But now, if you get a first round pick out of an HBCU, the eyes and scouts you go bring into that is going to be amazing.
Or like if you're a high pick, it's like at the O line, they're always getting O linemen in the first round, like Titus Howard,
linebacker in the second round.
Yeah.
Rasheed Mathis.
Did Darius Leonard go in the second round?
Yep.
Yeah. I believe second, third, something like that. He was middle round, early middle round.
The Colts are crazy good at recognizing talent, bro. Like,
oh yeah,
their GM is like, that dude,
Chris Ballard.
Chris Ballard can pull talent, bro. Like everybody he drafts contributes, man, and it's
immediately.
It's crazy.
Like Michael Pittman Jr. He was leading the league in third down receiving yards in the second year.
And I didn't believe in him the first year.
I've been on him.
That was my favorite receiver in that draft, honestly.
Yeah, man. So let's talk a little bit about coaching changes, man. Like at your guys' favorite schools. Let's talk about what's going on at Florida with Billy Napier and kind of what transpired with all the decommitments and kind of where they're sitting right now, because it kind of went left on them as expected. After
out of nowhere,
we kind of talked about it a little bit off air. I think Florida's number 50 right now as far as national recruiting. I really want to get you guys' opinion on Billy Napier. I really haven't heard of him up until this season. He's had 2 good seasons at Louisiana. I know he has a little experience from Alabama under the Nick Saban tree. But, I think that's what everybody's hanging their hat on right now. I know he's a very good recruiter. He was one of the top recruiters while he was at Bama. But, it's a tough sell when you're coming from Louisiana with no real background, trying to come into the state of Florida and try to, get the best of the best, especially this late in the recruiting season. And Florida, hasn't been up to par as far as recruiting in probably 5 or 10 years. So it was going to be tough from him for the jump. He's actually managed to salvage, a couple guys. He flipped a couple guys back. He just got a 5-star safety.
Was that was like the only 5-star y'all signed, right?
That safety was the only 5-star. But
so just to give you some perspective, man, like 247 has Florida ranked as they're last in the rankings and recruiting rankings in SEC.
Yeah, and that's tough. That's tough.
Even behind Vanderbilt, man.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough to even say, because Florida at one time could recruit themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they really need to implement some pretty good coaches. I don't know his staff that he's hired yet, but they need all the recruiting help they could get. Like I said, Florida used to be able to recruit themselves, but they're behind in facilities. They're behind, recruiting their own state against Bama and Georgia. So he has an uphill battle.
That's a hard climb, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's a hard climb. Especially for somebody that people really don't know that well. Like nobody really knows who Billy Napier was until they started saying his name, and I had no idea.
Like imagine him coming into your living room. You were signed with Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen sending guys to the league left and right.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, Billy Napier is coming into your living room.
You can listen. By those recruiting rankings, that tells you nobody knew who Billy Napier was.
Exactly.
Because if they did, they would have kept their commitment.
Yeah. Or at least they would have listened.
They would at least listen.
Yeah. We lost Ewers, and then we lost the receiver from West Orange, and those were probably the 2 must gets that we had to get, and we lost them. So it's probably going to be tough this off season. We're probably looking at next off season as far as seeing what he could do as far as recruiting.
Yeah,
but you know,
I mean, his current roster isn't breadth of talent, right? If you haven't already, they're gonna have to hit the transfer portal pretty hard, because he's only got 10 total commits for the class, so 10, and Vanderbilt has 24. So what that tells me that they were recruiting a lot of fruit that was hanging really high on the tree, right?
Yeah, they
were recruiting top tier guys, even like some of the top 4 stars, but kind of didn't really. That foundation is in the 3 stars, bro. The foundation is in the 3 stars, and maybe 1 or 2 guys that maybe aren't ranked, but and that's kind of where your foundation is built. And they kind of, you're not Bama, dog. You're not Bama. No. Bama can do that. Bama can do that because they guaranteed to get 4 stars at the least. They can get any 4 star they want. 5 stars, you're gonna get 5 or 6 at least. So I think Dan Mullen, maybe his recruiting strategy was a little bit. Actually, I won't even say it was bad, because
he was a pretty good recruiter.
If he would have stayed, he probably would have landed. He
would have had a top 10.
He would have landed 80% of those people who he targeted.
They would have had a top 10.
They committed early. I mean, he did have a good environment at Florida. He just didn't. I don't think they should have fired him. I don't think they should have fired him though, bro. Like,
no, you got Kamari Wilson and Shamar, the linebacker y'all got, to what y'all had before. That's a top 10 class. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Everybody saying with Jaden Gibson, all those guys, that's a top 10 class. I mean, easily. Exactly. So I mean, to me, for one, I think this is another. Maybe this may be a wrong take in 3 or 4 years. I feel like this is another situation where a fan base is running a good coach out of town way too early.
Yeah.
So
we're spoiled.
It's just like it's just like what Florida State just did with can't even think of Jimbo Fisher. Like Florida State just did with Jimbo Fisher. Florida's doing the same thing with Dan Mullen. Like, you really good play callers. They've won. They had a bunch of success. They took you to the conference championship, and you still don't think that's enough. Like, this Dan Mullen just took Florida to the SEC championship a year ago, and he gets fired the next year. I mean, it blows my mind, to be honest. I mean, I think Dan's one of the best offensive play callers, offensive minds in all of college football. And for him to basically get thrown under the bus when he didn't really have the talent this year. Yeah. I mean, some years you just don't have it. He didn't really have a quarterback. Anytime you have 2 quarterbacks, you got none, unless you're the Gators with really, still Chris Leak was the quarterback back then. You know what I'm saying? So, they brought Tebow in, but it wasn't a situation where you have 2 guys where, the fan base wants, AR-15, but Mullen still has his lead, and it went back and forth. That whole thing to me is the issue. Give it another year. If Dan Mullen it caused a big issue. Give Dan 1 more year. Now, if you come back again next year, then okay, I understand.
I said Dan Mullen at least brought himself 2 to 3 more years, bro.
Just by going to the SEC championship last year.
And you almost won if you would have got a few stops, bro. Like, come on.
If you didn't go against the Heisman Trophy winner and the most accurate quarterback in college football history, that's what it took to beat you in the SEC championship.
And you had 3 guys. You really had 3 guys.
And
you almost ran the table with 3 guys.
So,
but I think
his offensive system works, man. It works when he has the players that he needs. When he doesn't have the player that he that can distribute, then he has to have the athlete. He has to have the gadget guy who can run the draws and the read options. Like, he wasn't, bro. He tailors the offense to what talent that he has.
That sounds of a good play caller.
80% of these play callers do not do that, bro.
They run their own stuff.
They run their own system. He tailors the playbook to what he has.
It's always a sign of a good play caller.
And you want to coach like that, exactly.
Play caller in the country, top 5.
I'm surprised. The reason he doesn't have a job right now, he's got to be waiting. He's waiting on something.
I mean, he got the money too. You had to pay him the money. Well, I think y'all had to pay him $9 million. I think to buy him out, something like that. So I mean, he got $9 million to chill. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be in a rush either. I got $9 million.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Billy Napier has a lot.
Yeah, he's on a
lot of work to do to be an upgrade. You got a lot of work to do to be an upgrade.
You got no quarterback. Your receiver room is really kind of empty. Jacob Copeland just transferred. prospecting Jada Gibson decommitted with Oklahoma. So I mean, the receiver room, in my opinion, this is probably the worst receiver room Florida's had in at least 10 years. Like I can't tell you one receiver.
I can't either.
That's still going to be on the roster for next year. Like when I heard, what's the receiver from Reigns?
Rick Wells.
When I heard Rick Wells' name, I was like, bro, I forgot he was even still there.
Did he come back? Did he come back again?
He did. He played well, but
did he graduate?
He can't have another year, bro. If he has another year, that will blow my mind, bro. I couldn't believe, but you know what I'm saying? Like that shows, like to me, that he's a good talent, but I don't think he's on the caliber of what most the typical Florida class. He's not like a Van Jefferson. Y'all didn't have a Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You definitely didn't have a Tony or a Pitts, but you didn't even have a Van Jefferson that you can go to depend on.
Bro, can I say last word on the Florida State recruiting class? We didn't really go over their class, but like they had
ended up having a good recruiting class.
Let me look at the ACC. They had the number 2. Surprisingly, they had the number 2 class behind North Carolina. So they only ended up getting one 5-star, which I think was Julian Armella, the left tackle.
That's a good.
But I mean, you got he's the best left tackle in the country. And then you got AJ Duffy, who was the Elite 11. Played at
I think
IMG.
McCall was the 5-star. Yeah, McCall was the 5-star.
Was it?
I thought it was the left tackle.
Because they had McCall. They had McCall
on 247.
Yeah, they must have dropped him.
Yeah, they got McCall.
Oh, McCall. Yeah, they have McCall but so different recruiting. It just depends on which service you look at.
Yeah,
one of them, I think Rivals has Julian as a 5-star, and then Sam McCall is a 4-star over there. So it honestly don't matter, man. It's just about the people who are looking at you. They're good players. So they got McCall, Azare Thomas, which I think was a great pickup. I was happy that we got AJ Duffy, bro. You need a quarterback, bro, because you don't have Jordan Travis he don't have the arm, bro. He's not big enough. AJ's like 6'3". He's a solid kid. He's gonna be like 220. You know what I mean? His arm is crazy. He probably got the best arm in the country, or one of the top 2, from what I've seen at the bro. His arm is wild, bro. His arm is crazy. So I'm happy. It just depends on like how good he can process. You know what I mean? Like you can have a great arm, but like, can you play QB, right? So I'm glad that they have him, and he can kind of sit for a year because Travis is going to play next year. Luckily, Travis will play next year. We'll see. But just overall happy with the class, man. They're bringing back pretty much their whole team except Corbin. I think Corbin's going to the league. Yeah, other than him, they're bringing back the rest.
Yeah, he declared.
And they'll probably hit the transfer portal for another running back, I'm sure. So, but yeah, let's talk about Miami, man, and Mario Cristobal.
I thought that was a good pickup for y'all, man.
Yeah. So, Manny Diaz got fired. As probably the world saw. Wasn't in the best fashion at all. All the rumors were going on while he was still on the job and recruiting, which was bad look. But they got the result in the end. Not only did they get Mario Cristobal as a head coach, they also got Rakatovich, the athletic director from Clemson. So you got Clemson's athletic director, and then also Mario Cristobal as the head coach. So 2 big time power names. Radakovich is looked at as one of the best athletic directors in the country, so a lot of big projections for what's expected there. And then with Mario Cristobal coming in, played at Miami, won 2 national championships at Miami. Went to high school in Miami, born and raised. Was also the head coach at FIU. Went through a bunch of different things there. Was able to still have some success, with like T.Y. Hilton. Winning their first bowl games, was conference title championship. Left there, went to Alabama, of course. Then from Alabama, went on to be the head coach at Oregon once Willie Taggart left to go to FSU. So went to 3 straight Pac-12 championships. It's a lot of good success that he's had, kind of building up for this opportunity. So I'm excited about it.
Cristobal was at FIU at a time, right?
Yeah, he was at FIU. So that's where he started. That was his first head coaching job. Yeah, so he was able to kind of help turn the program around a little bit. They still had some things they dealt with internally with facilities and athletic director. But everything kind of worked out. Went to Alabama. That really kind of spearheaded the next phase of his career. And then even if you look at everywhere he's been, he's always put out NFL level talent, whether that's T.Y. Hilton at FIU, Justin Herbert, Sewell, those type of guys, came out Thibodeau at Oregon, or even being at Alabama and bringing in a Quentin Williams, um, Daron Payne, all those type of big time, big name guys, Alex Leatherwood, all the different 5 stars that he's been able to really bring in. So just looking at his record, everything's been setting up for this opportunity to come back to Miami. And, they paid a lot of money. He has a lot of deep, tight connections. So Miami Columbus is like I don't want to say a rich school in Miami, but they have a lot of money. It's a tight knit community. So a lot of people that he went to school with are now lawyers. One's a lawyer, one's a big time media mogul, one's a big time NFT mogul. So they, big time power brokers all came together essentially, and was like, we want to bring Mario home. We'll pay for it because you think about it, they paid Manny Diaz $8 million to buy him out. They had to buy out Mario Cristobal for another $8 million, and Mario's making $8 million a year. So you had to pay, almost 24-25 million dollars within a year's time span.
That's probably the best coach I've had.
They got to buy out that contract. They got to buy out Oregon. They got to buy out Oregon to get him.
Two contracts.
That's the best coach y'all have had. That's the best y'all gonna have. Like,
I agree. And even coming on the job, to me, the biggest thing was, as compared to Florida.
The question is, does Ed Reed stay on staff, or is he?
He hasn't announced the staff yet. I think that'll probably be coming in the next couple of days. But the biggest thing for me, we didn't really lose any commits. We lost a 3-star receiver and a 3-star offensive lineman, but it was more so they flipped on signing day. One was from Louisiana, the receiver. He had never got a LSU offer, got an LSU offer. Who's not going? What kid from Louisiana is it going to take the LSU offer when it comes late? You know what I'm saying, with a new coach, so you have a reason to, not be jaded about it. And then Carswell, former basketball player, old lineman, Lane Kiffin was able to flip him late. But as far as the rest of the class, he was able to keep it together. He actually brought on Jaleel Kelly from Dillard, the top pass rusher in Broward County. So that was a big, kind of being able to show, because we weren't even in his top 5 going into, the last week of the signing day period. And, Mario was able to bring him home. He fought off a bunch of schools for Kamari Rogers, the cornerback out of Mississippi, who was the top player out of Mississippi. He was able to keep FSU from flipping Wesley Basaint, the linebacker out of Miami Central. A lot of people thought FSU was going to.
I thought we had a chance. I thought we had a chance, man. But he was too deep in them trenches, man.
Yeah, Mario was able to fight him off. Same thing with Chris Graves. Florida was trying to get Chris Graves, the athlete out of Fort Myers. So he was able to secure those guys. Ja'Curry Brown, Lane Kiffin was fighting hard for him at Ole Miss. So he was able to secure the class. Our average, our average rating is a 91, which is 7th in the country. It's not a big class. It's only 8 commits right now.
Yeah, I saw. Yep.
But we're in it for a lot of guys that are announcing soon. So we're in the top 3 for Shamar Stewart. We're also in the Jaleel Skinner used his last official visit. He was supposed to sign yesterday, but I guess Mario got in his ear.
Who is that?
Jaleel Skinner, the tight end from IMG. So he had been committed to Bama for months. He came down to Miami last weekend with his parents, used his last official visit, told Nick Saban he was supposed to sign yesterday, but he pushed it back to Friday. So my thinking, I think we may have a chance to flip him. He was really interested in Miami early before, the season kind of went off the rails a little bit before the close. And then that's when he committed to Bama. So I think, to me, if you're going to Alabama, you're going to sign on that. You're going to sign on signing day. For you to push it back to Friday, to me, indicates that he may be flipping.
Yeah.
And then Cyrus Monster, 5-star pass rusher out of California, in the top 5 for him. So, he's made it into the top 5, top 3s for a lot of these big time kids coming down the pipe here. And I think if Texas wasn't offering $150,000 for all their old linemen, I think he would have been able to keep his old linemen as well, his 2 old linemen coming out of Texas. So I love what Mario's doing. He's a great recruiter.
What's that about?
So supposedly,
how they way to a championship.
It's some pancake thing with Texas offensive linemen. It's some pancake company. Let me see if I can pull it up. But they're offering like 150. The Pancake Factory is a NIL initiative that will pay $50,000 each. I'm sorry, $50,000 each for Texas offensive linemen every year.
Who?
Yeah, it's called a pancake.
It's hard to
a
turn
pancake.
That's what I'm saying. So hold on, I'll share my screen real quick.
Yeah, where that money coming from?
So because Mario had the number one offensive tackle in Kelvin Banks, he had him committed to Oregon, and then he had another top 10 offensive lineman, the big boy out of Duncanville, the 6'7" guy out of Duncanville. He had him committed as well, and both of those guys flipped to Texas once Mario left. So to me, that only says that it had to be the money. But the Pancake Factory, the NIL initiative that lets Texas offensive linemen bring in $50,000 a year. So no, obviously talking about it, but Houston area resident and lifelong Texas Longhorns supporter Rob Blair said that the conception of an NIL deal involving the Texas football program that he and co-organizers hope will provide a preview of what could be coming at various programs across the country. And they'll be sponsor every offensive lineman on scholarship at Texas with $50,000 in annual financing for using their name, image, and likeness to bring awareness to worthy causes that impact their local community. So it's a cool thing. There's a 501c3 nonprofit, as you see here. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I definitely think that had a lot to do with what happened.
So they can.
And Texas was late on the NIL stuff. Like they didn't want to pay nobody.
Yeah,
they didn't want to pay anybody. So this is huge for them.
Forever.
And now, if you look at Texas,
wow.
While I'm here, let me look at. If you look at Texas, let's look at Texas recruiting class, and you'll see exactly what I mean. So they got Kelvin Banks, the top tackle I was telling you about, who was committed to Oregon.
Where's your battery?
So they got that's one top offensive lineman. Another one, Nato, who again is a 4-star, high 4-star. Malik Ogbo, another 4-star offensive tackle. Cole Hudson, another 4-star offensive lineman. Cameron Williams, just a big boy out of Duncanville.
He's supposed to be nice.
He's 6'5", but they got him up to 6'6", 6'7", 360 pounds. He's huge. Connor Robertson, 6'4", 300, 3-star lineman. I mean, they're loaded in the trenches. I mean, you don't really see that many offensive linemen all coming to play with each other at one time, especially when you got the top guy coming in, like Kelvin Banks. So they knocked it out of the park too. That's another team that had a really good class.
No.
But yeah, so just to wrap it up, bring it back with. So there's a lot of things. If Mario Cristobal is able to hit one or two of these big time guys like a Shamar Stewart, Jaleel Skinner, and get the class up to like the 30s, because I think just those two guys alone will probably push the class up to about the 30s. Because out of the 8 commit, 7 of them are 4-stars. So it's a high, it's an upper echelon class. I think if you're able to add a Shamar Stewart or Jaleel Skinner and some 5-stars with that, you see this. It's a elite level class coming in, and hopefully it can start to be that type of classes moving forward. So a lot of excitement around Miami with Cristobal.
I think the U's on their way back, man. Like
I agree.
In all honesty, man, that Mario Cristobal move, man, that's probably the home run of all home runs. So like
I agree.
I think that wholeheartedly.
I feel like because what's Miami's record this year? What they won?
7-5.
7-5. Okay, so I feel like they're probably like, as far as right now, like I feel like Norvell and Cristobal are pretty much. Cristobal coming in is basically on the same playing field as Mike Norvell. So he's
won a Rose Bowl already, bro. 3 Pac-12. He won 3 straight Pac-12 championships.
I'm talking as far as like the recruiting situation, like the roster as it looks now. They're pretty much at the same place.
But I think having a quarterback is what I think makes
current roster.
I'm talking like the difference is we saw this year. The difference is 2 more wins for Miami. You know what I'm saying? So they're not that far apart. So the difference that what's going to make the difference is who can recruit better over the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. Who's going to win the state of Florida? Because Florida. Let's be honest. It's going to take him a while. It's going to take him probably 2 or 3 years to make inroads, and in Florida. So
I think and hiring Corey Raymond was the best thing Billy Napier could have did.
Yeah,
Corey Raymond, the former DB coach at LSU.
That's the coach.
Yeah. So getting Corey Raymond, I think, is going to help. But I agree, he needs to get those inroads. Because if he didn't hire Corey Raymond, there would be no Kamari Wilson.
And a low-key hire for Florida State was Randy Shannon. Like, we all know Randy Shannon can recruit his ass off. So I think that's a good move for Florida State as well.
Yeah.
Nobody really talks about that because I think he's like a DB coach.
He's just low-key. He's like the co-defensive coordinator, whatever that means.
He should be in the running for recruiter of the year every season.
Yeah. So I think Randy Shannon got them ties in Miami for sure.
Yeah.
Randy was in them. Randy was in them trenches, bro, in Miami for a while at Northwestern. He was getting them out of Northwestern everywhere down there.
I could say, this is a critical point over the next 2 or 3 years
for both schools. Yeah.
That's why I think who wins on the field. I think that's really going to be the deciding factor. Because
used to flip a lot of guys. Back in the day, that game used to determine where you're going.
Because this is Norvell's really first class, right? So this is his first real class. That first class, you still got hope. They believe in you. I didn't have my guys. This is we're overturning the roster. So this year it has to go well, I think, for him, or that's when recruiting gets done.
he's got to. I think he's got to have at least, for it to be a decent season, I think he's got to have 8 pushing 9 wins.
I agree.
You gotta have 8 or 9 probably 9 wins.
Yeah, anything less is gonna be a lot of noise.
Yeah,
you gotta be pushing,
especially in the ACC, man. Like
it's wide open.
Yeah, you had the second best class. You had a better class than Clemson had. So,
speaking of Clemson, let's stop right there. I think this is the end of the Clemson dynasty, bro.
Hold on. Let's save that because I got a little smoke. I got a little smoke with Dabo.
Okay,
so let's talk about what transpired with the Jaguars, man.
Cool.
Just over the past past 3-4 months probably. really the past 90 days. Because so you had really it started off at the beginning of the season him hiring Chris Doyle. Bonehead move. Didn't vet him, didn't know he was doing racist crap, and didn't care, and then didn't even really take ownership of it.
That's been his biggest thing is lack of accountability.
Yeah, he doesn't take ownership for anything.
He blames everything on I got 3 national championships. I could do what I want.
Exactly.
And this is the NFL.
Nobody give a damn about that.
And so you had that, and then you had there was Tebow. We got to count Tebow, bro. Tebow wouldn't have been on nobody's roster because
Hyde bring him out of retirement.
Carlos Hyde would not have been on the roster right now.
Dude, let's not talk production. I don't know.
He had Devin Smith. He had Devin Smith on the roster at a time from Ohio State, who hadn't played in 2 years. So I don't know. I don't understand.
Draft. Then you go to the draft.
The draft.
The whole ETN and I wanted Kadarius Toney. I've never ever seen a coach, a scouting department guy, or a GM say that I wanted X player by name, but instead we got this player by name. You never see that. They may say, it was a couple guys.
Who said that? Balky said that?
No, Urban said when he said
Urban said he wanted Toney.
He wanted Toney.
Yes.
He said he was essentially said he was pissed off Kadarius Toney got drafted where he did because he wanted Toney, and instead that's how they ended up with ETN. I've never seen that.
Toney went before
Jackson. I think he went like 1 or 2 before.
1 or 2 picks before, yeah. It was like I think they were 20 or 21 or 22.
Tony's gonna pop, bro. Tony's gonna pop if he can stay healthy. He gonna be a problem.
But you never admit that because then if you're Travis Etienne, so it's like, damn, I was your backup. I'm your backup option. You think he better than me? Like, so how much faith do you have in me? You know, and if I'm your first round draft pick, what signals does that send? Especially from your head coach. So,
Etienne's itching to get on the field, man.
Yeah, and then you after drafting him to a crowded room. So to me, it was just that was a terrible decision as well.
Yeah. Then they said they drafted him to kind of play more
receiver.
of like a wide receiver slot role and be in the backfield. Which okay, I mean
that's fine. But...
cool, but like what what we doing?
So you try to force a square peg in a round hole because you didn't get Kadarius Toney. That's stupid.
We could have got Rashad Bateman right in the first round.
Yeah, we got Rashad. Yeah,
I'm saying we could have got Rashad Bateman. We could have got Rashad Bateman.
We didn't get him until 27, 29.
So Elijah Moore could have man.
So I mean they I don't know, man, and it kind of it's just like their whole draft class pretty much shit the bed. And then Shenault went to shit. So he's not any good. Maybe on a different team he can be a gadget player. I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure where he fits in the league.
Yeah, I don't know his role.
He hasn't done anything. So I could see a team like the Cowboys picking him up and him doing better with them. You know what I'm saying? But I just think it's just circumstances, bro. He just hasn't been used. I just don't think he can get open. He can't get open like on the outside. He played on
running back.
He didn't play slot. He didn't play slot at Colorado. He played.
He was all around. He was all around.
Yeah.
He was
his best highlights, bro, him and Wildcat, bro. He needs to go to
either
running back.
Handing it to him, or
he should play running back. I think he should
100%. He should play running back.
He should be like a Cordero Patterson type.
Yeah, he really that's really in the mold. Like they should use him the same way that they're using Cordero Patterson right now. Exactly. Cordero Patterson's putting up crazy numbers right now.
He should have been. Should have been.
So yeah, they just but it took. What? How many years he been in the league? Like 7, 8 years. Cordero,
something like that. Yeah,
and it took him getting with the right coordinator who knew how to use him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dang, bro. Like, there's really players like that who fall through the crack. They'll make the roster every single year, but you don't know how to use them because they don't fit into the mold, right?
It takes imagination, bro. It's just like you have all the ingredients to bake a cake, but if you don't know how to bake a cake, you know what I'm saying? You just got the ingredients sitting there.
We just got to start with having players, bro.
Yeah.
But I think the players have been there. I mean, I think you got enough to compete. I think coaching is putting you honestly, the offensive line is bad. I don't know who the offensive line coach is. The offensive line, I watched every throw. 2 days ago, I watched every throw that Trevor Lawrence had this past Sunday.
I watched it too, but
I felt bad for that man.
Did you see Cam Robinson not getting any pressure?
Yeah. Cam side was fine.
Bro.
I watched James might be the worst tackle I think I've ever seen in NFL.
Terrible.
He is garbage. It was one time, bro. The dude gave him the wrong arm, and he still let him beat him inside with this. I said, bro, with no slap, no. I was mind blown, bro. I felt bad for Trevor because they took turns, 10 off on Juwan James. Hey, it's your turn. No, it's my turn. Let me go get a pressure or sack, bro. It was bad.
The craziest thing that I saw from that tape though was that it was blatantly obvious that you better sign Cam Robinson to a long-term deal.
And to be honest,
sure.
he's not
he played well.
You need to sign him to a contract as quickly as possible because he's going to get top dollar on the open market.
Yeah.
So you need to do whatever. And then there's really no incentive for him to sign now. Like, bro, what am I sign for? I could probably go
unless you go
a contender. I can go to a contender. They're going to pay me top dollar.
Overpay for his
because in that Tennessee tape, bro, they couldn't do nothing with him, bro. What's the dude named Landry? Landry, get up. He
stiff. Yeah.
Then like he's gotten so much better this year. Like I literally got on there, so
his get off was really good.
I knew the rest of the O-line was trash. That wasn't why I was watching the throws. I wanted to see how good is Cam Robinson really this year, bro. And every pass, I literally watched probably like 7-8 minutes of the whole tape, and I didn't see him get beat one time. I saw him
well, bro.
I saw him basically, and then like he's like you can't bull rush him, you can't speed rush him to the outside because he's just gonna ride you and then into the ground. Like I was just thoroughly impressed, man. Like they tried to call him a bust like when he first came out of Bama, but he hurt his knee. Like
he tore his ACL.
He's probably a top 10 tackle right now.
Yeah, to me, he's a notch under Laremy Tunsil. Like he's right up under there. He ain't quite as athletic, but he's kind of in that same mold, right under Laremy Tunsil.
Yeah.
But he played well. Y'all definitely from the middle to the right side. Y'all got to get that figured out because the middle to the right side, Trevor
Norwell got to go too.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. I'm talking about
what.
I felt bad for Trevor Lawrence. I was like, bro, what you? Because I didn't really see he had like 1 or 2 rookie mistakes, but when you really look at him, like he made the only kind of plays he could make for the most part. He got the 1 interception of 55 where he rushed it, dropped back off. Trevor threw. That was the hot route. He threw to the hot route. 55 just made a great play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was actually. But to me, again, that goes to coaching. So if you know that, you need the scheme to get your quarterback in better positions. He shouldn't be dropping, taking 3 or 5 step drops from shotgun every time. You got to find ways to me, he should be in the system like Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Put him in a Kirk Cousins type system. He's athletic. Get him on the move. Get him some play action. Yep. Get him bootlegs. Get him on the move to where he can make a half field read. You know what I'm saying? Keep it slow for him. Keep it easy where he can dump it off to the tight end, the fullback.
Yeah, make it a 2-3 man route.
Yeah, 2-3 man route, half field.
Defense
get it out and be good.
Defense been playing good.
Defense is stopping Kirk Cousins, bro. If you look at Kirk Cousins' stats over like the whole time he's been in with the Vikings, bro. He's had the top.
Good.
He's had the top tier stats, bro. His stats are top tier. Yep. And then if you look at like how bad their defense has been, they said like how many points, or I think it was like how lowly ranked is the defense for one the top quarterbacks that are playing well, and he was like one of the top players, like that their defense is just terrible.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter's hurt. Anthony Barr just came back this year, but now Danielle's hurt. So he's just been taking.
Let go of Linval Joseph, like bro.
And now he's got KJ Osborne. He's got him, and he's got Jefferson cooking on the outside.
Yeah.
So
Thielen and they got a good with Dalvin. I mean, they got a good offense.
Yeah,
is there. That's why I say if you put Trevor Lawrence in that type of system where he can take his selective shots downfield, but basically off half field play action bootlegs, but Trevor would thrive. He would thrive. You can't sit him in shotgun and 3 to 5 drops and him have to, throw his right arm out to bring you a win. That's not where he's a rookie.
One thing we're missing is DJ Chark, though. That's clear as day. That's clear as day.
And a consistent run game.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how.
I mean, it's there, but you got.
I don't know how you got out of the running the football. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how the hell did y'all get out of running the football, bro?
Urban Meyer's
he's incompetent, bro. He showed straight incompetence the whole time he had that job.
You do not have your rookie quarterback throwing 40 passes a game behind a shaky.
When you got James Robinson in the backfield, bro.
Behind the shaky pass protection, though. You don't do that, bro. Like that's basic. That's basic.
Yeah.
So I mean, besides that, so the Urban Meyer thing, man, was just a train wreck. So right now, I'm thinking they really can only go one of two places.
Who y'all thinking? Who you thinking?
I'm thinking it can either be Byron Leftwich or it's got to be Bieniemy. Either one of them two, bro. Because you need an offensive minded or Josh McDaniels.
I'm thinking. I don't think they would make this move, but I don't think, bro. I've been hearing his name and I kind of forgot about him. Jim Caldwell, bro. He's proven. He might be a little old school. He might be a little out of touch nowadays, but I'm sure he could formulate a staff, bro. That could.
I agree. I think to me, because I was gonna say Jim Caldwell as well. So for me, I think Byron Leftwich would be good, but I wouldn't.
I don't want
I don't want him to have that pressure. You feel me?
I don't want a first-time head coach.
I don't want with a very young quarterback.
We did the head coach who's been places before, bro. Like we did that.
But that's not Urban. Urban ain't been in the NFL. He didn't know what.
I'm saying NFL before, like we had Doug Marrone coached in Buffalo.
Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not a play caller. You know what I'm saying?
He's an O-line coach, man.
Jim Caldwell. I mean, we had him. He was the offensive coordinator for the Ravens when we won the Super Bowl. Yeah. So the
last decent coach we had was Jack Del Rio.
That's a fact.
Defensive play caller. You know what I'm saying? You need a mindset style. So that's why I think Jim Caldwell is going to bring
Del Rio had them defenses nasty.
They were great system, and he'll be able to hire to that. I think you get Jim Caldwell as your head coach. I bring in Raheem Morris as my defensive coordinator.
I would try to bring Del Rio back as my coordinator in some capacity if I could.
I think he's coordinator for somebody, isn't he?
The Redskins, right? Or
Washington? Yeah, the Redskins. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Washington. Sorry.
Man, Rivera's so good, bro. Like Washington gonna be straight, bro. They defense gonna be straight.
Need a quarterback.
Forever straight. They just need a quarterback. Rivera gonna have them straight after a while. If he can stay healthy, if Ron Rivera can stay healthy with the cancer and everything, like, bro, they gonna be Washington, bro. He got Washington afloat, bro, in the NFC with Heineke at quarterback, bro. And that offense, like the offense is like makeshift. It ain't.
That's why you need that type of coach, though. You need somebody who's done it, who's won it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think Caldwell, he's won Super Bowl. He's been there. He knows how to.
Yeah.
Or I would go Doug Peterson as well. I think
Caldwell's been out for a minute though.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that would make me wary. He may be a little out of touch as far as like the nuances of the offenses nowadays, but I think he could work.
I hear that, but I think
he still tapped in, bro. Look what Gruden did,
bro. I hear that, but I think you got to give Bieniemy a chance though.
I would love
that too. But I think he's.
I don't want him to come to the Jacksonville situation though. He's
waited about 3 cycles, bro. If he gonna get a shot, it's gonna be with the Jaguars, bro.
He deserves the Bears. Give him a little better of a situation. You know what I'm saying? A little more of a competitive team.
Go, bro. I don't think they're gonna let Nagy go.
He out of here, bro. I don't think he makes another season. They missed the playoffs again, which it looks like they're on pace to. Nagy out of there, bro. You ain't got no reason to bring him back.
He made his best move last week when he brought in Jeremy Grant or Jakeem Grant.
Yeah,
that was the best move he's made all in 2 seasons, probably.
Right.
And
I think
that's not enough to keep your job.
He'll be out of there, bro.
Yeah.
But I like Bieniemy. I mean, I love Bieniemy to get a head coaching job, but I don't want, because a lot of times what especially for black coaches, they get the job, but it's not the good job. Like you look at David Culley, what he's did with the Texans is phenomenal this year. He's had the Texans pretty much competitive in every game this year with the worst roster, the most drama. Your quarterback's dealing with 20 plus cases, right? Everything. JJ Watt's gone, DeAndre Hopkins gone. Everything could go wrong, and you still got them competitive in pretty much every game they've been in all season. They're not winless. They haven't been the laughing stock of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So, and he took it. He took a bad job and he's made it afloat. But I want a black head coach to get a really good foundation. Like the foundation Urban just tricked off, because now coming into this offseason, the Jaguars were the destination. You had the number 1 pick, you had plenty of money, and you had the chance to set the foundation of the roster. They blew that. I mean, you pretty much just blew whatever chances you had, because outside of Trevor, maybe Etienne, I don't really know who else in the draft class is really going to turn out. They didn't draft well, didn't spend the money well. You didn't really bring in no free agents that moved the needle. I mean, I don't know. I like to see him get a good chance before just any chance.
But I think, like we were talking about Caldwell, I think he can make diamonds from shit. Like look what he did in Detroit. Like he took
Detroit
with Flacco. To the playoff with Flacco too. He took Detroit to the playoffs twice. That's probably the toughest thing to do in the league. So
I agree.
He's had Andrew Luck, he's had Stafford, he's had Flacco, so he knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And he would fit that mold as far as he is a black coach, but I think he has enough pull in the league where
he'll be good.
You're not going to pull him. You're not going to pull him after 1 year. You'll let him set his foundation, and then maybe down the line, Byron Leftwich, if it doesn't work out, maybe a Byron Leftwich can come on and then, sprinkle his sauce on it.
But I agree. You need somebody that's a seasoned veteran that knows the NFL, that knows quarterback and offenses and defenses. That's in the not saying that not saying that Urban doesn't know offenses and defenses, but it's another thing to know it on the NFL level. Yeah. Same thing with Joe Brady. It took Joe Brady, he didn't. He got humble, got fired. It takes that adjustment period. It's different. It takes some. It's not many that can coordinate both at a high level. So I think what you bring in a coach that's established, has been around the block, understands it, and that can groom quarterbacks. That's a quarterback type guy like a Jim Caldwell. And like I said, I think Doug Peterson would be another really good one. I think Doug Peterson also got the bad end of the stick with Philly. Went to the playoffs the year before and then they fired him the next year.
Yeah, it got ugly.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy nowadays. So I definitely like to see him get that chance.
But let's go ahead and transition. I don't know how much time we got, but let's transition to Smoke Got Smoke.
Smoke got smoke, baby.
And my smoke is with Dabo.
Mm.
And Dabo, one of the top 3 coaches in the nation. We all know that. Clemson didn't have a good year this year. But my problem with Dabo isn't that they didn't have a good season this year, is how he goes about his business, as far as he always has something to say about the NIL or the transfer portal. And my problem is he's just a hater. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah.
He's probably one of the biggest haters that I know, because he hasn't taken advantage of the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. He gets mad at his players for getting money. Like, DJ's probably making more money than he is, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get that whole old school thinking, like, we don't want to spoil our players. College is supposed to be about this and all this stuff. He wants to throw around education and all this stuff. Like, come on, man. It's about winning, bro.
For real.
It's about winning. And all the coaches,
winning brings the money.
Winning brings the money, and all the coaches know you got to get with the times. I think Nick Saban is probably the best example of a guy that was stuck in his ways for the longest, but he knew he had to adjust. Mm-hmm. He had to adjust to the game. Like, Alabama doesn't really use the transfer portal too much because they don't have to. But look, their best receiver was Jamison Williams.
What I missed?
Smoke got smoke here in it right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Clemson. Gotcha.
Alabama's best receiver was a transfer. Or second best receiver was a transfer. Mm-hmm. They're getting NIL deals at Alabama.
Star middle linebacker was a transfer. Hell, they just landed the biggest transfer in the transfer portal in Elias Ricks yesterday.
Oh my gosh!
From LSU, he was supposed to go to Ohio State.
Yeah, he committed to Bama.
He was supposed to go to USC too.
Saban could get with the times. He's changed his offense. He's changed his defense, and Dabo, you can see it with their season, where Dabo is in his ways. And don't get me wrong, he's still a top 3, top 4, top 5 coach in the nation. But man, just get with the times, man. Players gonna get that money. Players gonna transfer, because if Dabo ever had that situation where the money was right, the situation was right, he's leaving. Okay,
I agree.
Lincoln Riley, he had the most ideal situation. He didn't really have pressure to win a national championship. Didn't nobody expect him to win a natty really at Oklahoma? But look, he went and took the money at USC.
At LA, you can't beat. I'd rather live in LA than Oklahoma on any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Come on. I'm sure Dabo would pick it over Clemson, South Carolina, if he got anywhere near
Dabo's salty right now.
Come on, he's salty. He's salty.
Real quick to add on,
they left his ass in Clemson.
That's what I'm saying. The athletic director left, went to Miami.
Ain't nobody trying to hire him.
The offensive coordinator just left. He's the head coach of Virginia. The defensive coordinator just left. He's the head coach of Oklahoma. Everybody just left Dabo. When your athletic director and both coordinators leave, and your other offensive coordinator left last year. So to me, that says something when everybody leaves at one time. It's either you.
You think so?
Or something else. I mean,
yeah.
Both coordinators and athletic director all leave Clemson at the same time.
Ain't nobody trying to leave Bama.
I've never seen that before.
Ain't nobody trying to. Bama's a stepping stool for another job, but in all reality, you don't want to leave Bama. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that winning, who wants to leave that? for a non-guarantee. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
and that was Dabo's selling point. Our coaches don't even leave. We're a family. We pay our coaches well. He always,
these
split the
coaches
salaries. Brent Venables was highest paid. Our
Venable was
coaches,
the highest
don't
paid
go
assistant.
anywhere. Yeah, they don't go anywhere. You can't sell that no more. You can't sell that family. Everybody just left you. So if it's a family, either it's a dysfunctional family or you the bad family member, because now you're the only one that's left in this family. You know what I'm saying?
And you talking that mess, and you talking all that mess with the NIL. Who wants to go to that school? Like, if I'm a top tier guy, and I know my coach is going to talk shit about
when
me.
you talking like that, man.
Yeah, you talking shit about me trying to get this money? Come on, I don't want to go there.
Man. Just that, and that's why I believe this their worst class in at least probably 10 years, as far as recruiting class. So I think it showed off in recruiting as well. They didn't close nearly as strong as they're used to closing, with finishing at 17. Last year they were ranked number 5. The year before that, they were ranked number 3, and the year before that it was 10. So I mean, they've had a top 10, top 5 class the last 3+ years. You come
Get
in
ready
and
for
now
9-3. That's what I'm gonna say about Clemson.
And the year before that it was at 7. So to go from 3, 5, 7, 10 to drop to 17, it's and then your quarterback's bad. Your quarterback's not good. And that you stuck with him. You married to him. That's your guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think it's the end of an empire in Clemson. I think we're about to see them slowly crumble.
And again, it's going to be tough for Dabo to get a job. Like again, how can you hire a coach that ain't for players, empowering themselves? Like that's the whole movement through 2020 to now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the players are gaining the power, and Dabo's trying to have that stranglehold on that, but they ain't finna work in 2021, 2020.
Go back to the way it was.
Exactly, but it's not finna be that way. So,
well, you got all the power and all the money. That's what you want. So,
yeah, that's what he want, and that's what he's not finna have in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's getting ugly for him.
I need Dabo to get with the times, or just go ahead and relinquish. You know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, they even ran the story on CNN, bro, about Urban Meyer's firing. It's crazy.
I mean, it was big, bro. I mean, he's been a national headline all year.
Kicking people and shit. How you kicking your kicker that had a hurt leg?
Bro, you know the only people I didn't see really doing any kind of coverage yesterday was Sports Illustrated. SIL American, I didn't see them do really any kind of like show or like anything.
Oh, for signing day?
Yeah, if you're trying to build like a recruiting service, I didn't see them do anything. Yeah.
On3 is taking over, boy.
On3 taking over for sure. I see them everywhere. Like
I see them more than rivals and shit now. Yeah. And then I saw they got y'all know Hayes Fawcett, the dude who does all the edits for all the players. They got Hayes Fawcett, so I was like, that's a big pickup.
Hey, bro,
he get all the players. He does every edit for every high school big time recruit, bro. So I don't know if he getting paid or On3 is probably paying him now, but
they said On3 paying hefty.
Yeah, he getting paid.
They paying Hayes hefty.
They paying everybody hefty. People are leaving.
Hayes getting paid very.
Yeah, Hayes got to be getting paid something crazy. Cause he's really their plug. Like he's
I was gonna say he the dude. But yeah, it's gonna get college football is slowly becoming one of my favorite sports, just as far as just the drama, just everything going on, man. Like just change could happen that quick.
Yeah,
college football is fun now.
It is.
I probably couldn't say that a couple of years ago because you already knew who was going to be in the Natty or in the playoffs. But it's the Wild West out here now. It's free agency.
So Lane Kiffin was talking about that today. He was saying, it's basically, free agency, and there's no guarantee of those players getting any of the money that they've been promised. He's just going, and I hope they get the money, but it's not promised. Because they was obviously talking about the whole Travis Hunter situation.
That's a fact too. He hating too, but
yeah, that's what I said. I say it's really slick hating.
Yeah.
You really sound like you trying to get him under investigation right now.
But I like Lane.
Yeah, me too. For the most part,
he's growing on me.
Same. Yeah. So the Thursday night football, we usually on Wednesday nights for everybody. So we all on Thursday night, so we'll tap in a little Thursday night football for y'all.
Man, so okay.
Is it playing clean for you, Marcus?
Yeah, it's playing clean. It was a little choppy at first, but it's all right.
You just can't turn on the audio because they'll block it.
Yeah. So I said this was going to be probably like a 42-38 type of game.
Oh, let me turn off the audio. Make sure we're in compliance.
Bosa.
Oh, that's a fumble. Yeah, he lost the grip.
Man, the Chargers are probably one of the most confusing teams in the league, bro.
So they started this game, for folks just catching up, they started this game down 10-0. So the Chiefs were up 10-0 at the end of the first quarter. And the Chargers have come storming back. They're up 14-10 right now. We got a big fumble. Yeah, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. He lost control of the football. He's not throwing it.
Once Bosa gets you,
he's trying to tuck that football. He's not throwing it. Yeah, fumble.
Touchdown, Mike Williams.
I want the Chargers to win this game so bad, bro.
Let's go, Eckler.
Hey, Marcus, man, you made the playoffs, man. This in the
man, I didn't know if anybody was really paying attention to.
I haven't been on. Bro. I gotta go back and
weeks, bro. I've been on.
It's me, you, Larry, and my homeboy Sway.
Dang, my lineup.
I went on a little 5-game win streak.
So I just got in, bro. Last week of the season, I won. The person who was in the 4th seed, Donovan, he lost, so that put me in the top 4.
Yeah. Man,
I hope Mike Williams does get a touchdown. Oh, there you go, Mike. Man, I left him in my lineup because he had a really good game against the Chiefs last time. So I said I'm gonna leave him.
That boy is not playing this year, bro.
Yeah,
that nigga's top 5, bro. Stop playing with his top.
For real. I mean, ain't nothing you can do with that, bro.
I didn't even.
He been doing that to everybody all year. And the knock on him was he couldn't do that until he got healthy, fully healthy.
Yeah.
Come on, he ain't been.
And he cut the dreads.
Yeah. And Keenan Allen's still doing this thing.
Yeah, Clemson ain't getting those type of guys no more.
They can't even get a T. Higgins.
Right.
Oh, I got Kelsey. Man, Kelsey ain't been coming through for me. Man, Larry got a squad. Larry got a squad, bro.
So what's crazy is, remember, Larry didn't pick his team. The computer picked his team.
Man, he got a squad.
Bro, they gave him all the running backs, bro.
He got a squad.
I was trying to get Jonathan Taylor from him early in the season. I knew Jonathan was going to end up being a baller. He wouldn't let me get him, though.
That boy got a squad. Man, every time I see his job, I'll be like, bro.
His running backs cut up for him. Yeah, his running backs cut up for him, boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cristobal, another Justin Herbert, Cristobal guy. Won a Rose Bowl with them.
Man, I like Justin Herbert so much, man.
Yeah, he really put it all together this year. Just really being efficient, continuously moving the football. Because really, that first year, everybody can have one good year, but that second year when they got the film on you is when you really see how good a player is.
Man, he got command of that shit, man.
Let's go ahead and shut down the pod, man, for right now, and then we can just watch this offline.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, man. So we out. I'll probably cut some part of it. Probably cut this part. But appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Most definitely. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, invite, share the stream, all of that.
Please do.
Oh yeah.
Man, we got 200 subs, man, before we slow down. We got 200 subs, so we got to keep pushing.
Crank it back up.
Got to keep pushing, bro. get to the get the first, get that 500.
Get
and
the
then we'll
500.
get to the
We
1K.
get the 1K.
Let's do it. We need y'all. Y'all help us get there. Y'all help us.
Most definitely. Most
And
definitely.
shout out to everybody in the comments too that came through.
Yeah, appreciate it. We're gonna get it back more consistent, man, and we'll have content for all the breaking news. We appreciate it.
We're going into bowl season, draft season. We here for y'all. Basketball, everything.
Most definitely. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
On Saturday.